Hello and welcome back to the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. I got a feeling this is going to be a fun episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right off the bat, we got a lot of giggles going on here in the studio.
It's a giggly day.
Yeah, giggly day.
We started a little late because you were recording with the Bachelor himself and the winner.
And the winner, which I didn't know if to call them the winners. That was how we started. Like I was like, what do you call? And it's like the couple.
They're the winner, right?
She's the winner.
Yeah.
He's the guy, I guess he's a winner of a certain type
He's
named.
Definitely the winner.
Right.
If winning is Instagram followers.
Well, that's been a big thing. He didn't really get the riches of Instagram.
He didn't get any followers?
Not as much as they used to. It's not what it used to be. There was a point in the Bachelor history where like you wanted to be on this show.
Yeah.
Hannah Brown, Pilot Pete, that era.
Andy Dorfman even.
Andy, yeah, she's in that group. Yeah, probably the beginning of that, of the social media riches that could be found. I liked him. And it's weird because I've talked shit about them the whole season.
Do they know that?
So they walked in and Katie goes, "It's you?" She goes, "You're the guy that said I look like I should be in a constipation commercial." And she goes, and
You were like, I said you look like a model.
right. It was a compliment. Yeah, she said that right when she walked in. It was like, and
It's funny. I mean, we talk about this all the time. You only remember the negative things that anyone says about you. You're that troll.
right.
For someone else.
You want to take a shit. Well, they were very nice about it because they were like, he even said, he's like, at least you're creative. That's kind of how our conversations are.
Okay.
He's like, and I agree. Just to say I hate someone is not a joke. It's not funny.
Right.
And I don't hate anybody on the show. People message me. I can tell someone how crazy someone is by the way they message me about The Bachelor. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes they'll be like, I fucking hate that show. It's like, you should seek therapy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. You can only like really dislike something if you have a funny or interesting point about them.
Right. I think of the show as a petri dish, and you just watch the experiment happen before your eyes.
And also someone could disagree with you about a take that's sort of the nature of being on the internet. I saw couples, I'm not watching this season, but I saw you making fun of Sean Lowe.
Oh, I make fun of Sean Lowe a lot.
I follow no celebrities or influencers besides Sean and Catherine Lowe.
Why?
It's extremely random.
And listen, you are not, I think you might be the reason I know that people just love them.
I just really like them.
Yeah.
I think it's because, and again, I don't follow follow any influencers.
Listen, I didn't think you'd be following a faith-based influencer as well.
But that's part of it. It's kind of like, there's like a certain wholesomeness to them that's not like super preachy that I feel like
tough line
they're not like super showy, but they have a nice life, but it's not like in your face. I feel like they're really, and they do so many sponsored ads and it doesn't even bother me because I just am like happy that they're able to support their family. It's like,
a skill in itself.
Yeah. They have like a couch line and with Wayfair.
Really?
Yeah. They've got, I don't know why. There's something about them that doesn't seem, they're likable because they're like just like attainable. They're like attainable.
Right. It's
aspirational.
I can understand it. Even the way he talks when he came on his cameos on the show, like, and I feel like the troll, loser, ugly person because I have to like constantly bring up that he's like a big born again, and like I to me. You can't ignore that on a relationship show that like
totally,
this guy, but also I do agree, like he's never like coming on there with a big cross in his hand. I'm the one pointing that out. And I look like the turd in the punch bowl.
I mean, I like prefer their religiousness, and I'm not even like a Christian person. Like I prefer the religiousness to like some other cheesy whatever thing. He's just kind of like, this is what guides me.
Right. No, I don't listen,
I'm not doing it, but I'm kind of like, I like the like pseudo wholesomeness that it's portraying.
As long as someone's acting in an honest way, the internet always calls out bullshit. Like I think that's the thing about the internet. That's why we hate certain influencers. People are bad at it generally because you don't believe it. Mm-hmm. You believe the Lows are living this way, and I believe it too. I hate that I sound like such a miserable fuck every time I talk about them.
I have so many things like that I talk to. Don't feel bad. I talk about so many things in that way. I'm like such a hater for some reason. And again, it doesn't really make any sense to me either. I don't even really watch the show anymore.
Yeah.
For some reason, Sean and Catherine are like my favorite people on the internet.
He had a fantastic story arc this season, and we actually cleared it up on The Bachelor. We clear up a big thing I had with him because Zach, the whole cross to bear that Zach had was that Fantasy Suites, he decided I will not have sex.
Oh, we discussed this last time, and then he decides. And the one girl was like, "We'll see," and then he has sex with her. So that's why everyone hates him. That's why he doesn't have Instagram followers.
They didn't like him as the choice. He got a lot of like boring white dude flack. Was
he like the Ari? I feel like Ari was sort of that person.
He got a very similar thing to Ari, yeah. And there's a weird thing of like people didn't think he was, I think, deserving. What like who deserves? I don't know. I don't know. There was a lot.
What was his job before this?
Software salesman.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I was like literally going to guess that because every bachelor is a software salesman.
You must get a lot of free time doing software sales. Like pharmaceutical sales, I don't think they work.
Dental hygienist for women and software sales for men.
She was a travel nurse, which we have a huge travel nurse audience here on the U Up podcast. But yeah, I enjoyed his season, and I enjoyed him in the studio. Jorge was here. He was both of them. Very nice.
They seemed nice. And I walked in after running an errand, and I walked into the office. I was like, who are these like Amazon, so tall creatures, beautiful people?
Well, I said it I say it on my stand-up special. I talk about The Bachelor a short about why I can't go on. Yeah. They're tall people. And it's weird though, because I've spent now months making fun of them. Mm-hmm. And then you have to like sit with them and hope that they understand that it's all in good fun. I hope, but I think
you're only doing it for the joke. You're not like making fun of them. It's almost like those roasts on Comedy Central. Like you're not doing it just for like, if it wouldn't be like,
it wouldn't be good. If it
wouldn't
was
be fun for you to be like, and he's like such a loser. I hate him. He's awful. Right. It's like there's a joke behind it, which is the whole point of it.
I mean, and yeah, totally.
Not mean for no reason. Mean for a reason.
You're right. I like that. Yeah, that's what. Listen, so I invited him to my shows in Austin.
Is he gonna go?
Who knows? Will anybody go? So it was a nice interview. They were really cool, and I had a good, go listen to it. Even if you don't know the show, it's a good interview, I think.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
I heard some screaming from behind the door, so
right.
That sounds great.
Yeah, we all screamed for a while. Yeah. How are you? What's going on?
I'm good. Not too much since the last time we were here.
I got some, it must be bold season.
Okay, yeah, it's spring.
It's spring.
Technically, although it is in the 40s today.
Right. Well, I'm getting a lot of boldness coming my way.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like...
My grandma.
I got to read this text.
This was a funny one.
I hope she understands.
This is going to be mean for a reason.
Right.
On today's theme is mean with purpose.
Mean with purpose, right.
Yes. It's like the alternative to Tony Robbins. Right. We're not living with purpose. We're mean with purpose.
That's right.
Yes.
And I don't want to be mean to this person. I didn't even answer. Okay. Jared, this is the message I received. Okay. And listen, I think I am let me start by saying I understand why a single woman might DM me or shoot their shot at me. I don't think I'm an okay looking guy. But I'm out here talking about dating in a way that is self-deprecating in a certain way. I think I understand why someone would find a connection with me and be like,
right,
I'm going to shoot my shot at him.
Totally. I mean, for the listeners at home, can you just give a general overview of the % chance that you're interested in any particular person that slides into your DMs?
It's pretty low.
Right. I feel like it's probably less than 5%.
Higher than that.
10%?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a 10% chance if you DM you that you're going to be interested in
you really got
anything.
It
has to be done exactly the right way, and you have to, and they also have to be your type.
Right. So there's a lot of things that come together.
Yeah.
So, and you have to, like, if your account is private, I'm not entertaining this. It's a no.
Yeah.
Right away. I have people, and here's what happens with DM slides. And I'm now opening this up to all of you who want to DM other people.
Not just you.
Not just me. If you're looking to DM people, I'm not.
That's not the generalized dating advice that people want from the show.
They don't.
What did you learn on this podcast?
Right. Here's how you DM Jared Freed. No. If you're looking to DM a guy, whoever he may be, I'll speak for the men. I'll be the big dummy idiot dude. I know it's your movie. I know it's your rom-com. I know you're the center of the star of the show. But take how the other side looks at it. And the other side is going to go, let me see if I'm attracted first. Literally, I read this DM to someone at the cellar last night.
Especially when someone is getting a lot of DMs.
Right.
That's another thing. If you're DMing someone who has 200 followers, is extremely private, that maybe you've already seen on a dating app, I think maybe you could get by with a little bit less. But I think
well, you're also going to hurt your own feelings because you're going to get the guy following you, and then he's going to go, oh, let me see what this looks like, and then he's going to go unfollow or not make a plan. This podcast is to tell you it's raining out. Here's an umbrella you can use.
Yes.
So the idea that you're going to message and, hey, I think you have to make it. So I would want to make it so I hurt my feelings as little as possible.
Right. And the best way to do that is to give someone all the information. And then if they ignore you, you're sure that it was because they saw all the information. They don't have to reject you to your face directly.
Right. Absolutely. And so I get this DM.
Let's hear it.
Jared, this might be the weirdest pickup attempt you've ever received, but hear me out. My grandmother passed away yesterday.
Hysterical. Sorry, go on.
Yesterday! This is the opening! It's so not funny that it's funny.
It's absurd.
My
The only reason I'm not laughing is because you've already sent this to me, so I've already read it.
I've read it 100 times. I can't stop laughing. My grandmother passed away yesterday at 99 after years. This is why I feel better about it. 99. She lived a life.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
We all need to die eventually.
Right. Everyone's gonna die. My grandmother passed away yesterday at 99 after years of saying she wanted me to end up with someone like you. What a compliment, but come on. I have a big crush on you, and after listening to an hour's worth of voicemail content from her last night, so she's listening to voicemails from the dead, ghost mails, reminiscing and laughing at her absurdities, I'm shooting my shot in her honor. Let me take you out to drinks. Best case scenario, we make a Jewish grandmother very, very happy. I guess in the sky.
Right. Well, that was my first response to this is how can we make your grandma happy if she is dead? It's too late for her.
If we make a Jewish grandmother very, very happy and fall madly in love. Worst case scenario, I share these voicemails with you and you have some grade A new material. What do you think? This is where I get exhausted.
Right.
I don't even know how to answer this person. I guess they didn't think
Do they have an open profile?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They did, actually.
You weren't interested.
It just wasn't. I'm not looking. This isn't the way I'm looking. This has nothing to do with.
Well, the message itself, I think, not a great message. It's all about her.
Right.
Right?
A lot of pressure on me. Hey, my grandmother died yesterday.
My grandmother's dying request was that I go on a date with you. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, if you get haunted,
find a Jewish man.
If you get haunted, we'll know who it is.
It's definitely gonna be this grandma. Go out with my granddaughter.
That's a good movie plot.
A Jewish grandmother haunts you into dating her.
Haunts all the men that rejected her granddaughter's advances.
Well, also, what do I write to that? Hey, I'm sorry about your grandma. Now the bad news.
Right.
I don't want to go out. I mean. Also, the idea, I understand you guys, can we stop telling comedians that Wait till you hear I got material for you.
Right.
Hey guys,
I'll be the judge of that.
Right. Here's my next joke about a random woman's dead grandma voicemails.
Right. That only makes sense to her.
Right. And I get it. You go to the Shiva call, you're all crying and talking and having lox and bagels, and you're like, remember when grandma said that fucking, whatever? And everyone goes, ah!
Right. Because they all know her.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know me, Ma.
Yeah. That one's annoying. I get that.
Tough one.
Funny, though.
Funny. My dad. When I read that,
but with a purpose.
With a purpose. I mean, I wish there was a camera on my face to watch my eyes just go, what the fuck?
It's just kind of like, I find it interesting when someone's like, I know that I'm like exactly what you're looking for. I know I'm a good match for you. And then they write something that shows that they clearly aren't.
Right.
And I guess that's why dating can be so hard also, to again generalize it.
Right.
Is two people can go on the same date and have walk away with a completely different take on it.
Absolutely. And I think, and two people can write just like you said, write a message, and I read it I'm like, ugh, now I gotta fucking say no to the woman who's going through a fucking death.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. We don't really start. And also, like, this is romanticized. Like,
well, that's the whole, I was saying that to you too. I'm like, I think that women overestimate the amount that men care about the Our Story page. Like, this
we don't give a fuck about the story. We don't.
Right. Well,
we will write it with you after it has happened and write it as whatever makes you fucking happy to tell your friends. Yeah. I'll go along with the lie you're telling people.
Yeah, but you're not thinking when this person slides into your DMs like a woman might think. If a man slid into her DMs with this story, I think it would work better on a woman, because I think she'd be like, well, this is kind of romantic, and there's like this story of this thing. Like, what if I shoot my shot? It could be like the thing, or he's, to that the thing. And I think that with men, they care almost zero.
To that point, it would almost be manipulative. If I messaged a woman and was like, my grandmother's dying wish
was to go out with you.
Was
to have sex with you.
My grandmother said one thing on her deathbed. Will you blow my grandson?
Right, I agree. It is manipulative a little bit. Well, because it seems, again, we talked about this before, like with men, there's sort of like the underlying sexual undertones, which seem less pure than my grandma wants me to go on a date with you feels a lot less manipulative than my grandma wants to have sex with you. Let's take
it at its word, though. I messaged someone, my grandmother, she made me think of you and we should get drinks. We go out 3 weeks, we fuck, and then I'm like, grandma might have been wrong. And I think we should end this. I'm sorry, I'm not ready for a relationship. The response would be, you fucking did this to me? You brought me to Grandma Town? You brought me to the romanticized? That could be given, that would be spit in your face a little bit if you ended things, you know what?
That's fair. Although, I don't know if all the grandma said was she wanted you to go out with them. She didn't say anything about you marrying them.
I just know, I agree. Yeah. That would be the way you would rationalize it to yourself. This person's mad that the breakup happened, and it's not my fault that I used the grandma story, but I do see, I've been in that breakup. Yeah. When you, just the way, if you get back with an ex, you said you thought about it. And
well, that I agree with.
Right. Right.
Well, with an ex, I think that it's more legitimate, because with an ex, it's like, you came back to me when it ended. You need to be sure.
See, I agree. I agree with that. No, but I agree with that.
As someone who's had quite a few exes come back.
Right. Yeah. And with age, the anxiety of going back to an ex hovers in me more to make me not do that.
Right.
Or like even just ex-ish, like, oh, we dated for 3 weeks. Maybe, and you think about that person that you had 3 weeks with, and you go, should I go back? And then you go, Jared, you're going to be the guy that goes back?
Well, does the ring of boyfriend or fuck off now play in your head when you think about doing those
You're
things?
my dead grandma haunting me.
Boyfriend or fuck off?
Boyfriend or fuck off. Remember, please blow my grandson.
That's what your grandma's dying wish.
I got another DM. I got another message last week that I kind of wanted to go over with you. I don't know.
We think we went over. Did we discuss it?
Not on this.
Not on the show.
I posted on my Instagram.
Oh, yes.
Is it worth talking about?
I'm trying to remember what was the crux of it.
So I get a text out of the blue from a random number. Hey, I've been laughing at your Instagram for a while. I told my friend and you matched on a dating app.
Yes, gave me your number.
Gave me your number to text.
Yeah. Never cool to give out someone's number without their consent, no matter who you are. It'd be one thing if the friend texted you and said, hey, I have a friend who I think would be great for you. Is it okay if I give her your number? That's my biggest pet peeve is when someone gives out my number without
I hate that.
any sort of, that's just, I think, poor form.
It is poor form. And I understand that we are living in two different worlds. That's the point of this show, is the danger that a woman deals with from a man is not the same danger.
It's still just common courtesy.
Well, it's
like
kinda,
no one,
right.
Because when you give someone your number, you're giving them their permission or the ability to just contact them directly at any time. It's not like an email where you can, people check their emails and you can easily, it's like it's less of a direct
even
assault.
An email I ask.
Yeah.
Hey, just wanted to let you know.
I agree you should ask with an email too, but
Right.
I think that's less egregious than a text.
Right. I just think what gets overlooked in this DM slide world is, and from the man side, we also do danger. We also do, what is this? We also do, so I'm not saying it's the same danger, but if you're in the DM game, if you're in the random text out of the blue that you got from someone else, like I get into if I'm thinking this, the guy you're dealing with is thinking this somewhat too. I'm not 100% away. I'm at least within 10% of you're a guy.
Right.
Just know that men do this thing of like, keep your distance. So I just
that's
think
why they're communicating with you on Snapchat or DM.
Right. That's right. Snapchat is the prime example of men knowing more than you give us credit for. Right.
Why do you ask for my Snapchat, not my number?
Oh, these stupid men don't know anything. Yeah, we know enough to want our texts to disappear after we send them.
Right. And not for you to not have a way to contact us directly.
Right. And a way to take our number out of your phone if we unsubscribe, if we unmatch you on Snapchat.
Right.
So all things to keep in mind. That's an umbrella for the audience to keep over their head. But
I agree. And I also think just again, another reminder, if you're ever going to be sliding into someone's DMs or texting them randomly, which you shouldn't do unless you have permission from someone else, send pictures. Don't send anything without pictures. Just don't do it.
Give the person as much information as you have.
And I'll say it for you because it sounds icky coming from you. It would be like, send pics. But
send your hot low-cut top pics
I would want
Jared
that too.
Freed. What?
I would want that too. I mean, like the baseline for going out with someone is physical attraction. I think that goes for both people. And a sense of them being somewhat normal.
I think to have empathy for the other side and why they don't is there's a lot of women that go on dates that go, I'm not that attractive, but we'll see. But no man goes on a date starting there.
I wouldn't go on a date without being like, I'm kind of into it. Like, even if I wouldn't have to be like, oh, wow, this person is fucking hot. But I would have to be like, this person's pretty good looking.
No, listen,
I'm attracted to this person.
I could see it happening.
Yeah.
But I will say that the penis is a ruthless dictator.
It's for men, yeah.
For men. The penis don't let you leave the house. Penis be like, no, get the fuck back in here.
And it's not about like hot or not. It's about like you being attracted to them.
Absolute types. Everyone's got their versions. To let, after that disgusting admission, can I give some dates?
Of course.
If that's okay. I'm coming to Europe. I mean, like,
I'm so excited for you.
It's happening. Jared in Europe. I am like, it's
Jared.
Europe, put my beret on.
I need you to like fully dress like the part of each country you're going to.
Yes, the striped shirt. The
French mime.
The French mime. I'm not even going to France.
Oh yeah.
So, before then, I'm coming to Austin, Texas. And maybe The Bachelor and his new fiance will be there. Probably not. Jorge, do you think they're going to come?
That's a no.
That doesn't sound. That doesn't sound promising.
A maybe is a no.
Yeah. Dublin.
A definitely is a maybe.
Definitely is a maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Belfast, Dublin, London. 2 out of the 3 shows sold out. That's fucking insane.
I love London.
Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Berlin, Oslo, and then we are going
on tour.
The U Up Live. You're wearing the sweatshirt.
I got the sweatshirt. I was feeling nostalgic for the tour. This one's from their 2019 tour.
Right.
And we have such a fun time. I'm so excited. The shows are selling. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, get them before it's too late, or else you're just going to be stuck with the bad seats. Chicago on May 18th. We've got Philly on June 15th.
Boston the 22nd. New York the 23rd. DC the 24th. It is fun for the whole group chat. Yes. It is just a fun show. Also, if you're in a relationship, I think it's a great show to bring your significant other to. You're going to have conversations you would have never had. Like, if you want to have a conversation with your boyfriend, you want to communicate more, This is the thing to do.
If you're like that SOS guy who was like having trouble making his dates non-interviewee,
right?
This is the perfect icebreaker. This is I think it's a great like 3rd or 4th date.
Mm-hmm. I met someone he went on a date with.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I don't know
say?
if I'm allowed to. They said he was a really nice guy.
Okay, that's great.
They liked him a lot. And then they went to Plug City. They went to Employees Only.
Oh, okay.
And he claimed it's because I told him to go there. And
Did you? I don't remember.
We must have referenced it in that episode. I wouldn't go there on a first date.
I was going to say, I have mixed feelings about Employees Only as like the first spot. Someone once took me there on a first date. I met from, I think, the apps, and it was so crowded in there that it was like, we didn't actually get in. There was like too long of a line. So then we're like, just met, wandering the streets, trying to find a backup place. We wound up going to some shitty bar.
There is no worse feeling in the world than the first date wander.
You immediately dry up.
Oh my God. You can heir their vagina drying up. You can hear them behind you going, he didn't make a fucking plan.
He didn't make a reservation.
He didn't fucking do shit. Listen, I think Employees Only has its purpose. I don't think it's the first place.
After the date.
Somewhere to travel to.
Yeah, travel to.
Yeah, we must have said it as like a place to go after.
Not a first date.
No. He fucked up. But
nowhere where you don't, I think first date reservation.
Yeah, you don't want the first date wander. Don't get in that game. And I've been guilty of it. You can hear them.
It's a young man's thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's a young man.
Amateur hour.
I've had it happen recently.
Yeah, there's nothing more awkward than just wandering the streets with someone you don't know, walking next to them side by side with this like pretty much this stranger, and then you're also. Not only are you just like walking and talking, but you're actually on a mission to find
and then it becomes like you're hungry and you just need to eat. Like you're just looking for Barstool.
Yeah.
Like a Barstool. Please just and you're like, well, maybe we go to that place, and you will not find the perfect place. Totally. Now you're just looking for a place.
I get into a mood even if I'm with Mike and we're walking around looking for a spot. I'm just kind of like I don't want to be like looking from restaurant to restaurant. I want to like have some place to go.
Absolutely. We've said it here before. If I could go back, if that dead grandma can deliver some messages to some men out there, go haunt them and be like,
make a reservation.
Make a resi. In addition to the U Up Live shows, I'm coming to Kansas City, Missouri, Nashville, Tennessee, Lexington, Kentucky, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Awesome.
All great towns. That feels like a whiskey run.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like
the Bachelorette circuit?
Apparently. You want to do the show?
Yeah, why not? We should do the show. We're here.
Well, we're here. Let's
do it.
I've been also putting out more clips of stand-up. The special's done.
Yeah, it's great. I've seen it. It's ready to go.
Isn't it cool to see Betches Presents?
I know. It's just like, it's very cool for both of us. I feel like it's amazing to be part of it, to be like an EP on this thing. It just feels... We're so proud of it.
Thank you.
So we're so excited.
So I've been putting out, there's a big bit in the special about the ick.
Yes.
That has become fascinating to me. And I talk a lot about it. So I've been taking video of shows and asking audience, there's a part of the show where I say, does anyone have an ick? So I've been putting those out.
Those are good because then you're not revealing too much of your bit.
There's no reveal. I'm just revealing the ones I'm finding on the road. Right. And one was the video I just put up was transition lenses.
What are transition lenses?
When your glasses go from regular glasses to sunglasses.
Oh, I don't know if I would even do it. Maybe I've seen it and not knowing that that's what it is.
Right. I mean, if you see it, you'd think they're in the sun or they're not.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't know, but to see it change.
That's funny.
It's a very funny
ick. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it sounds like my ick is not having a reservation.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know who's into that. You know what's hot to me?
I'm turned on by that.
Right.
I mean, so I guess if you were spontaneous, maybe you'd be like.
Yeah, that'd be the other side of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
That would probably be like the douchey male response to like someone being annoyed about that.
A little spontaneity.
Right. I didn't realize you were so uptight.
Right. Go with the flow, babe.
Yeah.
Let's do the show.
See where the night takes us.
Right.
No, fuck off. Okay.
Reservation or fuck off.
Seriously.
UUP@betches.com. What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about insecurity.
Oh, I got some myself.
This was a good email, very specific, but I think can demonstrate a broader issue. I'm going to read it.
Did her grandma die?
No, not yet.
I can't stop thinking.
Okay, now everyone knows where not to go for grief counseling.
No, I'm bad at a funeral. I will make jokes. I will tickle you.
I'll remember that next time.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
sending
sit
out
near me at a
invites.
funeral. I fuck around.
Fuck around and find out.
That's right.
Hi, J&J. Let's get right to it. Background. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years, and I've been struggling in the past with the type of accounts my boyfriend follows on Instagram. That's a tale as old as time.
A tale as old as time.
Well, as old as 2011.
Her fat ass I follow makes me little hard. Going to look at her titties. Gross guy and the influencer.
I mean, it really goes with the Beauty and the Beast.
Right?
Theme.
Does it ever?
He was in the fitness industry for a long time, and he followed a lot of fitness model accounts when we first started dating. He's unfollowed those that he doesn't actually know outside of social media, but his circle of friends and his usual type are very much so Victoria's Secret catalog material. And I am not so much. Oh, I'm sure you're beautiful in your own way. So his feed being full of that is a point of insecurity for me.
I am not so much. No, I'm sure you're
fine.
Sure,
someone's foot. That's what you
someone's
always say.
foot. Yeah, listen, he's with you.
This guy's foot.
Yeah. He didn't like, the way she presents it is like, they wouldn't fuck me, so I guess I'm with this hag.
He's with you. He likes you.
Yeah, you're hot.
So his feed is full of that. So his feed being full of that is a point of insecurity for me, but I've accepted the fact that he has hot friends that are girls that are usually nearly nude on his Instagram.
It is so awkward to open up your Instagram and like the first picture that shows up is just like,
oh yeah,
bathing suit model. And
whenever,
you're like, oh, who am I?
Whenever I see that on Mike's, I'm like, who's that?
It's my friend.
Who's that? Right. I'm like, oh, do you follow them for dieting tips?
Right.
Like, clothing? Is that what you're buying? Are you buying from the links?
Yeah. What is his answer? Because I could use some answers.
He's like, I don't even remember. It's so bad that it's not even.
It'd be amazing if his penis jumped out of his pants. It's for me. Shut the fuck up.
Well, yeah. Now I just like to, I like to do some trolling. He doesn't follow that many, but when I see one pop up, I'm like, oh, that's interesting that the algorithm pushed this person up. It's not you must never look at their profile.
Right. We should be able to set accounts to be the second picture. Mm-hmm. Like I want to set
so that it doesn't pop up immediately.
Yeah, just give me a.
I'm like, why am I like 6 people down on the stories?
No reason.
Right.
Nothing more honest than an algorithm.
Seriously, nothing will tell the truth.
Oy, algorithm knows you better than you know yourself.
That's true. A couple weeks ago, he mentioned that one of these friends referred him to one of her friends to help make a website. Tonight, he brought this up and said the website she's looking to have made is a not OnlyFans page with quote unquote, not fully nude, but pretty close content that she proactively sent him. And this part is probably not important, but as soon as you say a page like OnlyFans, you get the gist without the visuals being necessary.
Well, it is a funny, like, branding he's doing where it's like OnlyFans is just pay for my content. It doesn't have to be.
I've never been on OnlyFans, like I've never seen like an actual OnlyFans.
I'm thinking if I've ever, I think I've gone to like the first page, but I've never signed up for one.
I assume it's like a little racier than an Instagram.
Right. I know people with OnlyFans and that don't do nudes.
What do they do?
They're literally like,
why not do like Patreon?
Pictures.
Oh, so it's still
pictures,
it's still like,
yeah.
It's still sort of like meant to get if you're paying for an OnlyFans, it's probably for masturbatory purposes.
I would assume, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they signed up to hear their their reading recommendations.
It's not Pinterest. They're not looking for outfit inspo.
Right. It's just a picture of a foot doing stuff.
I mean, okay.
But listen, these people are making good money. Like, if someone wanted to pay for my feet, it would be hard for me to turn down the easy money.
I guess.
Right? I don't
know. If it was feet, yeah.
But I'm saying
you'd feel a little dirty, though, I think. Not to call it dirty, I'm sure. Like, but I feel like me, myself, even if it was like, it seemed sort of benign, like feet, I would feel a little weird. But you know what? We're all sellouts in our own way.
Right. I mean, we're sitting here surrounded by Boom Chicka Pop, which we love. I just don't, to me, I can't look down on anyone being like, yeah, I put up a picture of my foot once a week. And I'm sure it's harder than that. Like, if someone said to you, Jordana, for the rest of your life, you can get $1,000 a month to take a picture of your feet once a week. Would you do it?
I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
I'd probably do it. Yeah.
You just,
Here's the thing. You're only as like picky as how rich you are. So if I were like a billionaire, I'd probably be like, I don't really need to do that.
Well, it was interesting to see there are these TikTok trials. And they're and you didn't think I'd go here. So the TikTok trials are like, they're like going to take away TikTok. And, and you go,
you meant like court trials.
The court trials, yeah. And you go, I don't think a lot of these, there's a weird age discrepancy in our political leaders. Mm-hmm. Like, I read this thing about how like there's a huge gap between like the age of the people in office and where like the country, like,
of course,
it's like, but
I mean, look at our president's old as shit.
Old as shit. So it's like, but this generation doesn't want to let go of. But then that generation also doesn't understand, like, TikTok isn't just people dancing anymore. Like, there's people making real money and have real careers that you're going to just take away.
Right.
And you go, I don't think there's an understanding from that age group.
Well, I mean, it's hard to fully understand the implications of a generation that was growing up. We're going to take away the coal mining industry versus we're going to take away the TikTok dancing videos.
Well, there's a corollary there, and they don't see it. You can see even in their questioning, they never really think about it from a like this. Like that,
it feels very stupid.
It feels stupid. Like I was looking at a lot of those old people asking questions, and I was like, oh, those are the same people that would look and go, knock on the door with your resume. Right. Come on, at my age, we used to show up to the office and go, hire me. And you go, that's not how it fucking works. If someone showed up at Betches and was like, hey, here's my resume, you'd be like, call security.
Right, yeah. Well, those are the same people who are cutting out newspaper clippings and then scanning them and then emailing them.
Right.
To send you something.
It's quite a group. But and so the OnlyFans thing I do understand is like, this is people's.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it despite my very insensitive.
No, I didn't think you were insensitive at all.
So while I feel like she crossed a boundary, he didn't ask for the photos or anything. Okay. When he told me the kind of
he has them though, and he knows where to find them.
Secret stash. When he told me the kind of website she wanted, my initial response was, I don't know how to feel about that. And the more I sat with it, I feel uncomfortable with this whole thing. And while he was very forthcoming about the whole thing, he knew I would be. He said that's why he thought the appropriate thing to do was to tell me about it. But the more questions I asked, it felt like he got defensive, and it's left a sour taste in my mouth. Side note, my boyfriend is not a website developer. It's something he's done for his own business and has done as a favor to his close friends. And he's good at it and enjoys doing it, but it's not his source of income. So while she would, hopefully, he's not sure she can, compensate him for it, this is not something he needs to do to earn money. Our conversation tonight ended with him saying, I didn't realize I had to ask permission. I guess I'll just tell her I won't do it. And I told him I don't feel like he needs my permission, but I would want to have a conversation so that I feel more comfortable with it. But if this is how the discussions around it are going to go, then yes, I'm not comfortable and I don't want him doing it. I feel like this ending is going to lead to resentment one way or another. Either he's going to completely disregard the conversation and make the website anyway, just feeling unsupported, or it's going to be that I told him he couldn't do it and he still feels unsupported. I want to bring it up and discuss it without devolving into arguing over it. And I think the insecurity I have is in large part what needs to be discussed since it's fueling my discomfort. Is there a way to bring it up that's not a total turnoff and also that doesn't immediately put him on the defensive? Thanks for your guys' help. Error 404.
It's a great sign off.
Good sign off.
And it also shows how smart she is.
Yes.
Like that's a
Can't pull one over on her.
No.
Yeah. You're just helping out a friend with her nude photo website. It's not OnlyFans, but it's
OnlyFans-ish.
Right.
What did you? So I think your perspective is good here as far as like, I don't think you were insensitive. This is just how you feel about an OnlyFans page. That's okay.
I think the fact that I think there's some important parts in here from it that maybe most people wouldn't think are important or you won't think are important. I think the fact that he's not definitely getting paid for it is like, why are you doing this? You don't even you're not going to get paid and you don't even really know this person. This is your friend's friend.
It's so funny that I feel like I would be in this fight. I'd be on his side.
You'd be on his side?
Yeah, it is funny that like whether being paid or not.
That's a huge part of it to me. It's like one thing if it's like, I've got to earn.
Right. Well, as an adult, your time is going into this. That could. This is so a relationship fight because I've been in this argument when I was in relationships, never out of them, and I where it's like any use of your time is relationship or money or to a girlfriend.
I mean, kinda.
I've been in this, and I would go, yeah, I guess I don't need to do this. Like I've had that reaction where I'm like.
Men, I feel like you want it to be your idea to not do it.
Right.
You don't be told not to do it.
Right. And I made the decision of like, yeah, I guess I'll do the website because I think there's important information to his credit.
Like what?
He's done this in the past. He has
for his friends.
And this is a friend.
This is a friend of a friend.
So now he's going
to develop a whole website for some woman who's a friend of a friend who's really hot. I'd be like, why are you fucking doing this?
Not making us money, not making our relationship better. But I think every girlfriend lives in this mode.
Sure.
Of like,
I don't think it's a bad thing though.
Boyfriend, you better be doing one of two things.
Well, it's kind of like, if this is a hobby for you, I don't need your hobby to be like looking at these half nude pictures.
Let's say he gets paid $1,000. Let's go back to the, like in the way that the fee.
I mean, how much is $1,000 to him? I guess.
Well, how much is it to you? Would you deem this as worth it for him? If he was like, she's paying me $1,000, it'll take me 20 minutes. It's easy to do. Would you be different?
Yeah. Then I'd be like, yeah, of course, go for it. But I don't think it takes 20 minutes to develop a whole website, and she's not sure if she can pay him. I'd be like,
you're getting used.
You're getting used. It's on something that's making me like a little uncomfortable. I don't really see what the upside for you is here.
Right. I think she chose the wrong battle. I'm thinking of like in this relationship fight, I would go, if she was like, you're not making money from this is a waste of your time. That would be a better battle than going back to the well of, you're always having these Instagram models. You have hot friends. I'm not hot like your friends. Like I
would stay away from that.
Right.
I would stay away from that. But I think it's a perfectly reasonable argument to be like, you don't really need to do this. It's not that beneficial for you. It's making me uncomfortable. Why do you need to do it? Just to prove it, like.
Right. I'll make this personal to me. Like I'm thinking of like I was in a relationship. Someone goes, hey, do you want to come down to Aruba and do shows? I've done shows in Aruba. I'll give when I do shows in Aruba, they're not paid very well.
Okay.
But it's in Aruba. And I get a hotel and I can be at the beach and great.
Yeah.
And my flight's taken care of and the hotel's taken care of and you get like a nominal amount of money. It's not career-wise, it takes me nowhere.
Okay. Does absolutely nothing for you.
Right. If anything, it gets in the way.
Yeah.
You and I have to tape over Zoom. Like I have to make sure there's internet there. But I get to go to fucking Aruba.
What is that for him in this?
Right. What's Aruba for him?
Looking at these pictures?
I don't know. This is where I would say.
And I think you would probably be like, why don't you come?
Right. I would go, well, you can come if I was in a relationship. But this is a fight I've been in a relationship.
Right.
Where it's like, do you need to go to Aruba?
To me, there's like a sexual undertone on this, which makes it a little bit different.
But she's made it that way. But
it is that way.
Right.
It's an OnlyFans-ish thing.
Right. I don't think he has a leg to stand on. But I think she's combined two things here. She's like, am I too insecure? It's like, well, it's more that you don't like that his time is spent, that he's wasting his time because of why. Like, I think that's
right
where she's trying to get to it. And is it because you're so, like, are you willing to just do favors for people you think are hot?
That's what I'm saying. That's another part of it. Why are you doing this favor, potentially unpaid, for this woman?
He's not getting
that
paid.
You don't even know.
He will not be paid.
Right, I'm saying, but he doesn't even know her. This is his friend's friend.
That is a detail I missed, and it's important.
Like, if it was his friend, that would be one thing. It'd be like, my friend asked me to do a favor. We're close friends, and like, I felt it's your friend's friend. Why would you like take your own time and expertise and things for no money? Right.
Well, that's the no money then becomes if the story was, I got the side hustle, I make an extra $5,000 a month just doing people's website. All these hot idiots think they're gonna fucking pop off on OnlyFans.
Not OnlyFans, OnlyFans.
Yeah, the OnlyFans-ish world, and I'm willing to take their money until it fucking runs dry. That's a better perspective than, it's my friend's friend. Yeah.
Doing them a favor.
Right.
Like, no.
Yeah, that's where it's not
But the
great.
Aruba thing, the upside is like clear. Like, you get to go to Aruba. It's a paid trip to Aruba. That's a great argument. This is what? I get to look at the pictures. That doesn't make me feel good.
I need more Aruba. I need more Aruba.
Right. I think it's annoying to me when men try to frame like doing things that are inappropriate as you being insecure.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I find it to be a little gaslighty.
Yeah.
When they're like, why are you so insecure? When it's like, oh no, this is like an inappropriate thing. It's not about me being insecure. It's about something that's clearly inappropriate that you're just not acknowledging, and then now turning it on me as being.
And she kind of helps with that by bringing in the insecure stuff. Right. And also, they've had this argument about Instagram models before. Like, it's funny. The Instagram model thing we've talked about, and there's no avoiding it in this world. But you go, it's not the model, it's the amount you try to get in touch with the model. Right. And it's funny.
And how much you defend looking at the model.
Looking at the model and what you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he were to, it's like, to me, it's almost, if I think about like going on a bachelor party or going to a strip club, it's like the idea of going to the strip club doesn't bother me that much. The idea of like following an Instagram model doesn't bother me that much. That if it was something that I was like a little insecure about and they made me feel more insecure about it and were so defensive, which like what she's saying, it's the fact that they're so defensive about it that is more annoying, instead of approaching it like, I can see why that would make you uncomfortable. But here's why, like, but everyone's going.
But it's I don't want
it. Right.
You you have to have something.
Some acknowledgement of like why it's weird.
I guess his only thing to say back is, but I'm bored. And I like making websites. That if he said,
charge people for them on the side,
right? Yeah. I guess this is the equivalent of going to a strip club and getting a phone number, and then being like, she just wants her website redone.
Right, like inappropriate.
Right. Also, their hotness doesn't matter. Yeah. It's just like, why? I think that's where she's losing.
Yeah, I would leave that out of it because it's really just besides the point.
Right. If she had just come up to him and been like, why are you doing this for no money?
Yeah.
Simple question.
What's the upside for you?
What do you get out of this? Just tell me.
Right.
And if he was like,
what would he say?
I don't even know what he would say. But it is funny. When you're in it's you're either doing relationship shit or you're making money to do relationship shit.
Or third inappropriate option, you're doing shit for free to look at for the perk of looking at these pictures,
which is like stupid. But now he's pushed into a corner of defending it, and he probably. I think
he went the wrong route. He could have been like, if he really wanted to do it, I think the only way to do it would be, hey, I know, I can see why you would not. It wouldn't be your favorite thing that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like I want more practice in this thing, or I think it's something I could turn into a career, even if she's not paying. I feel like it's good. It's good experience. Maybe she'll refer me to someone, and then I get like.
I've already said yes. It feels awkward to say no at this point. Like that. I understand your point. He did no understanding of her point.
Yeah, and that's the most annoying part to me, because I think it's a totally reasonable thing to be like, this isn't something I really enjoy you doing.
Right. Let's do some awkward sex.
Let's do it.
UUP@Betches.com, UUP@Betches.com. Keep sending them in. J&J, love you guys. Thank you for the many laughs over the years. This awkward sex story has 2 parts, mostly concerning the before and after, and not so much the during. My senior year of college, I was still dating my college boyfriend who had graduated the year before and moved across the country. So it was a long-distance relationship. I was scrapping by with money from my on-campus job, and he was also cash poor, paying city rent with an entry-level job. So it wasn't often we could afford plane tickets to visit each other, so when we did, we tried to make it special. On his trips to visit me at college, I planned to pick him up at the airport in my minivan. So hot. Wearing only a one-piece bright pink mesh thong teddy under a long winter coat with boots.
Okay, I like the creativity.
Go for it. In my 21-year-old brain, the top shelf ideal of a sexy foreplay show was, for some reason, the prom night scene from the Britney Spears movie Crossroads. I don't remember this scene.
I don't remember it either. I haven't seen Crossroads in like 15 years, though.
I haven't even thought of Crossroads.
Crossroads. Have you seen it?
No, I don't even think.
It's like it's a very obscure movie to have such a. It's like the only movie that Britney Spears is in. So I guess if you're a big Britney Spears fan, you probably I've seen it. I just don't remember the scene.
She says where Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On" is playing. This must have been the big funny scene. And Britney comes out from behind the door wearing a negligee and batting her eyes at Justin Long's character. Justin Long was in it?
I don't remember that either.
Oh my God, this guy's done it all. My plan was to get my boyfriend back to the sorority house room, turn on the song, push him on the bed, and give him a lap dance or some kind of show.
I like the foresight.
I love it. Yeah. All of this is sweet, young love. Before leaving for the airport, I did my hair and makeup how I imagined it would be tousled and carefree looking. Put on the teddy, coat, and boots. Left my iPod on the iHome speaker. Queued up Let's Get It On so I could hit play, and immediately upon walking back through the door with him, I could hit play immediately upon walking through the door with him.
Very bold sorority house move.
Love it. Everything about this is just great.
I mean, it just, I like it. It's just, I'm kind of like, you're just bringing him through the whole sorority house and then playing the song. People are going to like hear it from outside.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Someone downstairs is like, hey, dinner's ready.
It just seems like not the most private thing.
Tough. Yeah, those sorority house walls are thin.
Right, with the girls like screaming over, I don't know.
He called back. Let's get it on. Well, in the 2 hours between leaving campus, picking him up at the airport, and getting him back to campus, this is a long day.
Yeah.
I completely lost steam on the sex.
Could totally understand that also.
Totally get it.
It's like waiting in traffic. The thong is riding up.
Right. Somewhat due to nerves, but probably mostly due to the scratchy, cheap mesh material sawing my ass crack a full inch deeper. But I still didn't want to give up on the plan since I'd spent a full $15 on the lingerie and downloaded Marvin Gaye on my iPod. We got to my room, I turned on the song, and at the point I couldn't turn back, but was feeling completely self-conscious and did an awful half-hearted undressing dance in front of him. Oy, that's an image.
I think it rarely turns out quite as good as you have it in your head.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless it's like your job to know how to do that.
Right, unless you got an OnlyFans-ish page.
Right.
Yeah.
In which case it makes more sense. But I feel like these things, and I've attempted them in the past, they're always in my head. They're always a lot hotter than I feel like they actually come out.
Right.
Have you had it like done to you?
Yeah, when I get in lingerie and do a little dance.
Like, has a woman ever pulled something along these lines?
I've had it go in all directions where you're like, yeah, this was nice, but I don't know what we're doing. And I've also had to be like, I'm like, you have a talent.
Well, that's who you want to be. Even when I try to make like a sex playlist, I feel like it's always just awkward.
Putting on music is awkward.
Right.
Putting on music.
There's no way to transition into that in a cheesy way.
Oh my God. When you have to decide what you're going to put on for the person.
And then you're like, what do they think in this joint?
Right. That is what is the music of your choice for a sexual night? What would you put on? I will admit what I put on, and it's very embarrassing.
I would put on Kings of Leon, The Sex is on Fire. Which is like, even saying it sounds kind of cheesy.
On the nose, yeah.
A little too cheesy. I haven't done a sex playlist in a very long time because I feel like they're too awkward. It doesn't, in your head, it's like hot, but it never actually winds up being that way.
You just want to write sex playlists and have it pop up.
Yeah, I'm sure Spotify has one. I haven't made one probably since before that was really a thing.
I'll put on Dave Matthews, which is...
Oh, that's good.
It's good?
Yeah, I think so. It's more subtle.
Jorge started laughing immediately.
Still awkward.
Ready for this? Yeah. It's just, right. It just... I don't know. There's something so embarrassing. It on
is embarrassing.
So embarrassing. And then once it's on,
it's like trying so hard.
Right. 2 songs in, you're like, we're past it. But when you make that move to what music?
Right. That's why like the hottest sex is like the spontaneous sex that is like, it doesn't feel planned and it feels very much like you just kind of have to have each other. But this like setup of I can see why she's like with the lingerie and then they're on the thing and then now she gets there and now she like has to do it instead of just like
Marvin Gaye
being a hot thing.
Right. There's a part where it's like, I'm doing the script that we both know there's a script for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Take these chances. Place them in a rock.
I feel like that is the classic. I think it's the classic sex playlist of a man who went to college, probably, but in like from 2000 to 2010.
Right. Hold on, now I want
of a certain era.
Right, yeah. Like you should. I'm looking on Spotify now. Like I want to know if you can sex. Playlist.
There's definitely like many sex playlists on Spotify.
Bedroom playlist 2023.
What's on it?
Crazy in Love by Beyonce.
Of course.
A little too much for who I'm bringing home. Crazy in Life.
Make sure it's not.
Right. I don't like the word love in there. High for This by The Weeknd. Mount Everest.
I feel like The Weeknd would be.
Weeknd's a good sex
probably
playlist.
the newer generation sex playlist.
Weeknd speaks to me in a sex playlist way. I've had women play that, and I always am like,
good choice.
We've gone to a good place with The Weeknd. 11 by DJ Khalid. I wouldn't bring Khalid into this. He doesn't go down on women. Yeah. Die for You by The Weeknd. A lot of The Weeknd.
The Weeknd makes sense. He's got a very like, just the vibe of it makes a lot of sense. But that Weeknd wasn't a thing. I think.
Let me do sex playlist 2007.
That's probably the better one.
2007.
I bet you Dave Matthews is on there. I bet.
There's a lot of like rock on here. I don't know if this is...
Is it Kings of Leon?
Let me do 2007 playlist. Top hits of 2007. 2007 playlist. Okay. Fergie, Big Girls Don't Cry.
That's sad.
Thanks for the Memories by Fall Out Boy.
No, these are all awful.
Irreplaceable by Beyonce.
Okay.
Untouched, The Veronicas. Umbrella, Radio Edit. Okay. Rihanna.
I feel like Avril Lavigne had some like she had that song What the Hell I liked.
What's What the Hell?
It's like I don't want to sing it, but it was good. You guys can
Girlfriend was on this. Yeah. That doesn't ring sex playlist.
You're like you try to avoid any commitment buzzwords. No love, no girlfriend.
No. Take these chances.
No Hootie and the Blowfish. I only want to be with you.
No. Don't want that.
You want that song. You're probably more into the Mambo No. 5.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every guy, every girl.
A little bit of Jessica
in my life. A little bit of Tori. Yeah, that's
more your speed.
That's my speed.
If you hear that on someone's sex playlist, run.
Little bit of he.
Let's Get It On is pretty neutral in terms of commitment.
Right.
Although
we're just getting it on.
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
That's
it. Nothing else.
Yes. I'm glad that we're on the same page about sex playlists being awkward.
All right. It's so awkward. Okay. Well, let's get back to this. I turned on this. Okay. I turned on the song. At this point, I couldn't turn back, but was feeling completely self-conscious and did an awful half-hearted undressing dance in front of him. We were both excruciatingly uncomfortable. Overall, the mesh suit did come off and we did have sex, but I tried to forget about the whole night. Tucked it away in the back of my brain for a while. Until a few months later, college graduation, my whole family was there, helped me pack up the last of my room, including stripping the bed. I mentioned before that I had had an on-campus job. My boss at this job really had taken me under his wing. I actually got my career from the experience working with him, and he wanted to meet my family when they came for graduation. He came by the parking lot of my sorority house where my family and I were packing up my minivan. I was introducing him to my dad when my mom came out of the house with an armful of bedding she had grabbed. Hanging off of her fingers was the neon pink mesh lingerie. I had completely forgotten about it. It must have been wedged between the bed and the wall. My mom must not have noticed it when she grabbed it in all the bedding pile. But here it was dangling in front of my boss and my dad, and they were both staring at it while I was trying to keep up the small talk. I didn't know what to do, so I also pretended I didn't notice it while standing with the three of them chatting. Eventually, my mom readjusted the pile in her arms, noticed the teddy, and immediately ejected from the conversation. Walked towards the van and tossed the teddy in the trash on her way. Then it was an awkward goodbye to my boss and a really fun 12-hour drive home with my parents. The long-distance relationship fizzled over the year after I graduated, and since then I have not reattempted wearing a teddy or preparing a Marvin Gaye sex playlist. Signed, Negligee Negligence. What do you think?
I like the story. It really shows what we were just talking about, the awkwardness of trying at anything.
Absolutely. And it's also the thing I relate to the most is the moms pick up laundry, and laundry's just laundry.
Right.
You know,
she's just like on it.
Right. Just like take it. Everything is just one pile. You know, the mom noticed it, but at the same time, like my mom, just give me the shit.
At least she didn't make like a scene over it. Like, whose is this?
That's my mom.
Would do that?
Oh, I have a story. One time, did I ever tell you the story? I went to my buddy's college and I got drunk.
The washing machine?
Yes.
Okay.
Did I tell this? I don't
remember it fully.
Long story short, I go party with my friend. I may have shit my pants.
May or may not.
May or may not have. I brought the underwear home for some reason. I was like hungover, and I went into the laundry room and I just stuck the underwear in the laundry. And my mom was having like a meeting with like football moms. Like it was a bunch of football moms. And I was like, went upstairs, went to bed, and then came down and like went in the computer room, like the old computer room. Yeah. And I remember she was having this meeting and she's like doing laundry while having this meeting. She's like, and midway through the meeting, she's like, Jared, what's with the underwear? What's going on? What did you do to these underwear? And I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, I'm just thinking of these moms like,
I mean, I have to say I'm on your mom's side for this one.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't just throw it away.
For me?
Right.
Like,
such a stupid idiot.
I'd be annoyed too. I'd be like, oh, you just tossed it for someone else to deal with?
It's such a stupid thing. I can't think of why I did that. And I just imagine these moms in the kitchen between me in the computer room and my mom in the laundry room. What's this? Is that duty in your underwear? You know,
telling everyone how Kim's son shits his pants.
Right. The older one isn't doing well. So stupid.
I like Maddie had strip the bed tease, lingering lingerie, lady in the sheets, freak in the sheet, streets, freak in the sheets. What did you got? I think we should call this one "Don't Try Ever." Just don't do it.
Right. The not ready, Teddy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I like that, Teddy.
Red flag or deal breaker. The guy you're going home with does a little dance for you before getting in the bed.
I mean, if I'm really into him and we're like long distance, I think I would appreciate the effort. I get that's also the kind of thing that you kind of need a few drinks for.
Right.
I can't even imagine attempting it sober.
Right. Oh my God. The fact she drove 2 hours. And
Yeah.
was like, what would be a guy thing to do for his girlfriend coming in? Like, I guess.
Flowers.
Right. She's
That
like,
would be glass champagne, flowers.
Something like
something
that.
like romantic, I guess, more than a striptease.
right. The neon teddy.
Yeah.
Let's play some games.
Let's do it.
This week, we're playing a new game called Corny or Sweet, presented by Angie's Boom Chicka Pop. Angie's Boom Chicka Pop popcorn brings you a boom of bold, craveable flavor that you can enjoy at any time on any occasion. Whether you're taking a snack-sized bag on the go or unwinding with a bowl of your favorite flavor and favorite show at the end of the day, Boom Chicka Pop is the perfect, delicious, but not too indulgent snack. Now, let's see if these dating scenarios are corny or sweet.
Okay,
Corny
ready?
or sweet?
Here's my first scenario. They start calling you a pet name on the second date.
If it came up naturally, it's sweet. Like if it's referential to the first date we had, I'm actually okay with it.
Like an inside joke.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I kind of go into corny mode when they're like, "Hey Jay," like right away, don't be so comfy.
Yet.
Yeah,
I get that. I agree with you. If it's an inside joke that's sort of riding on a funny moment you had on the first date,
sweet.
Cool with it. Sweet. If it's something they're like a little name they made up for you, or it's like honey.
Yeah, no, corny. Out. I hate babe couples.
Oh yeah, but I mean, especially on a second date.
Hey babe,
yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Cutie. No, I don't want any nickname.
No cutie. All right.
Let's do another. They tell their mom about you before you've even met in real life.
I think it would depend how it was phrased and what they've told them.
Okay, so you're on the date, they go, oh, I was just on the phone with my mom. I said I had a date.
That's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just on the phone with my mom. I said I had a date with, Jordana who runs Betches. She's a huge Betches fan. That's
also fine.
Right.
I think. Yeah. So I guess sweet that they talk to their mom and give them whatever. If it's like, if they're telling me more of their mom's opinions, then I would be like, my mom picked this place. If it's like
too much, there's such a thing as too much mom.
Yeah, and my mom told me to I told my mom I was going on a date with you, and she told me to go. It's like I don't want appropriate boundaries, but also it's sweet to be like in touch with your mom and have a nice relationship. But I think it's corny to be too close.
Okay, let's make it more broad. I just got off the phone with my mom. I told her you're a nurse, and she looked up your hospital, and she knows exactly.
Creepy. There's no creepy option, but I would say that's it's not corny. It's like
right. You've
scary,
gone too far,
right? I mean, same with you. I would assume.
Right? Yeah. That's corny, annoying. Yeah, it's too much. I mean, hey, I just got off the phone with my mom, and I told her we're going on a date. She loves your stuff. I would be like, okay,
that's
cool.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no issue with that.
Right. It has to be like, it can't be crossing a boundary of like stalking.
Right. There's a certain line. I'm trying to think of what the more realistic scenario is. Like, hey, I was really excited about tonight's date. I actually told my mom on the phone. Like, that's even weird to say.
I agree. I have a funny story about that. I guess I had, my dad works for the company of one of Mike's friends. And so I went on a date with Mike, and then after I saw him, he had seen his friend who works with my dad at like a pool party the weekend after I saw him.
At a pool party?
At a pool party.
Yeah.
The two of them. This is like after our first date. And then my dad had called me like the day that Sunday, and he was like, "Oh, I heard you went out with blank's friend."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I guess you know each other from whatever." And I'm like, and he's like, "Oh, is there going to be a second date?" And I'm like, "I don't know yet. Like I'm not sure." And he goes, "Well, I hope so."
He's team random guy.
Right.
Yeah. That's
funny.
Right. Why did he hope so? He had a good vibe. He likes the guy.
No, he was saying the guy. He was saying that the guy hoped that there would be a second date with me.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, I guess I've got a good review.
Right. Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, but then when I told Mike that, he was like mortified that his friend had then told my dad that he had a great time on the date with me, and then like gave maybe
I don't know. That might be. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it was kind of sweet.
Right.
I thought. Anyway,
let's do
that was
one
a very
more.
confusing story. Sorry.
No, I think it's great.
All right, one more. You mentioned your favorite snack on the dating app, so they bring it to the first date.
So you say on the dating apps, "Oh, I'm having some Boom Chicka Pop."
Yeah.
And
they show up with 6 bags.
With a variety pack.
Yeah.
I think it would be thoughtful.
I think it's sweet too.
I think it's sweet, especially if it's Boom Chicka Pop. No,
I mean, yeah.
We like it.
Especially the cheddar one. I'm really into the cheddar.
You love the cheddar.
Yeah. The white cheddar popcorn Boom Chicka Pop is a little addictive, if I do say so myself.
Listen, I always say that I'm not a kettle corn guy, but somehow
they've done it.
Chowing down.
But when it comes to snacking, corny is never a bad thing. With delicious, bold flavors like sweet and salty kettle corn, white cheddar, and sea salt, Angie's Boom Chicka Pop is the perfect match for every craving. As I just said, love the white cheddar popcorn. I asked the whole brand team to get me a ton of it because I don't want to take the only one that we have on display. But when we had it in this bowl, I think I ate all of it. I'm a huge, huge fan of all of their different flavors, but the white cheddar has a special place in my heart.
It's delicious. It's great. Good snack. Good.
Yeah.
We love it.
You can try Angie's Boom Chicka Pop for yourself by visiting www.boomchickapop.com. That's BOOMCHICKAPOP.com. And that's it for this week. We'll be back on Sunday with your Sunday Spesh.
Boom!
The U Up Podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales-Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.